Hello, Goddess Tiffany Rose is back once again with another video. So, in this video, I'm going to make a pretty much a detailed overview of my experience of being an empath. Yes, Goddess Tiffany Rose, in case you didn't know, is an empath. She is a light worker. Okay. And so, in this video, I'm going to talk about my experience, the highs and the lows, or the light and the dark side of being an empath. My personal experience. This does not or may not apply to all people who can call themselves empaths, but this is my personal truth. Okay. So to begin, one may ask, what is a light worker? What is an empath, right? Um, as you all know, my channel is taking a different direction. My goal is to push it to do more spirituality work, more intuitive work, um, basically helping people in all areas or aspects of their life at this particular time. So I'm right now I'm putting a hold on just doing beauty stuff or just doing talking about my weight loss journey, and the time I'm taking to do a lot of self-love and self-care is opening me up to be multifaceted, multidimensional, meaning I'm realizing self-care, self-love, health, everything all is one big package, right? Um, and I'm including as a foundation of that package now spirituality, right? Meaning having a higher consciousness, having a relationship with God, understanding who I am, my purpose, my place in this world, knowing my self-worth, my value, my place in this world, my contribution, the core of my being, my values, um, is very important. you know, yes, I am going to be talking about more beauty or my journey with weight loss or exercise and dieting. That's all going to be included. But as you all know, there is another side of me, another component that I want to share now that I'm more comfortable and in a better place and feeling more confident in sharing. And that is me being an empath and a light worker. So, individuals who are empath and light workers are people who are just in tune with the world. They feel the vibration of people, they feel the vibration of the world, the energy. And for the most part, they have a very strong connection with God, the divine, the universe, a higher power, a higher source, someone greater than themselves. And people can call it different names, different things. For me, it's God or goddess or divine or the universe, the creator of all things, the source of my entire existence and being. Okay. So we believe, for the most part, for most of us who are operating in our authentic true self, is operating in a love and light, meaning we operate in a place of sharing love to others, displaying love, giving love, receiving love. We believe in operating in our highest and greatest good. That way, it's equality for everyone. It's no, I'm here and you're here. We're all equal. We're all the same. We all are operating on the same field, and that is to experience and be here to experience the joy of living and helping one another to do that. There's no big eyes, little U's, at least where that's for me concerned, which is we're very similar. I would say me is very similar to my experience because I'm coming from a background of Christianity, of church, of Pentecostal, non-denominational, you name it, right? My background is Christianity, but I wouldn't say that I'm completely separated myself from church and Christianity and all that. I would just say that I have expanded my mind to so much more instead of just this one segment of my life. I have made it more profound to where I feel more comfortable in learning and experiencing God on a whole nother level. Um, and I have found so much joy in that and peace in that instead of this one set of way of doing it. I found it's so many ways to worship and give reference to God. It's so many ways to see God, to hear from God, to know God, to experience God. It's it's countless. And I realized that God is not in just this one segment group of people or one belief. God is in everything. Is in everything. If you're really intuitive, you're able to see God in a plant. Right? You can see the energy of God in a plant. You learn to see the energy of God in fire or water, in the air, like in my clothes, my dress, my hair. It's like the reverence, the light of God is everywhere if you are awakened enough and sensitive enough to know what it feels like to be in the very presence and be the very presence of God, right? So, yeah, I know I kind of went a little outside what my paper says because I got a whole paper here to explain, to break it down, because I know people are like, Tiffany's up here reading tarot and she's up here doing cards and magic and all kinds of stuff. What is she into? She working witchcraft. She working with the devil now. She a witch now. Like, wait a minute, hold on. Let me just come and clarify so that people can have a better understanding of where I'm at in my life and where I'm going, you know. Um, so to answer some questions, here we are. I'm opening up. I'm finally comfortable enough to share where I am. So to answer some questions, am I working with tarot cards? Well, yeah, I am. I am working with tarot cards. It is a form of divination. Divination meaning just using something, a tool, in order to connect with God, to connect with the higher power, right? To connect with the universe or whoever, you choose to connect to. I can personally say and be honest, right? There is some light and dark in everything, whether it's in spirituality or doing tarot cards or divination, or whether it's going to church every Sunday in the choir. It is light and darkness in every aspect, okay? You can either choose to use the tool for good or you can use the tool for bad. It is a personal choice. You either choose to add positive energy to it or you choose to add negative energy to it and use it for harm and evil. That can be done with money, that can be done with relationships, that can be done with religion, that can be done even with the Holy Bible, right? So I use tarot cards just as a tool for positive energy, positive influence to reveal symbols, signs, and wonders from God, from a positive energy, a positive source, not the devil. I'm not a devil worshiper. I never been and I never will be. I don't conjure up demons and devils. That ain't my that ain't my forte. Y'all know me. I don't mess with all of that. That ain't me. That is a whole nother spectrum that I choose not to do. Okay, because that's just not my forte. Some people that say forte, not me. Okay. So I operate out of a place of simplicity, of a place of talking to God directly, and I use not just tarot cards, but I use everything around me for God to speak through and reveal to me, whether that's through plants, whether that's through food, whether that's just through the weather, the energy, whether it's through the news of things happening in our world, whether it's just through personal relationships, having a conversation. God can use any medium to reveal a message or to show you something. He is unlimited, okay? He is infinite. So if God wanted to speak to me through that painting back there, God can speak to me through a painting. It's just a matter of my mind and my spirit being open to seeing God and hearing from God, whatever it is He wants to show and reveal to me. One of the methods I use is tarot cards or oracle cards. Okay. I don't use anything that if I feel this deck got some real bad energy or bad juju or some demonic stuff, I don't touch it. Okay. I only touch things that I feel can help me or help others, to reveal supportive messages or wisdom or symbols or things to think about outside of our own mind. Okay, because with human beings, we're intelligent, but compared to the rest of the universe and compared to God, we are like this. Okay. Our understanding is like this. We don't even understand how we even got here. Okay. How human beings, how life even originated. I'm not talking about the Adam and Eve story. Okay. I'm talking about cellular atoms, everything, the stars, the plant. I'm talking about before the garden. Okay. For that. So I use things because sometimes I use tools because sometimes my own intelligence, because God is so like this with his wisdom and knowledge and power and understanding, he got so I have to break it down to something simple to where I can see it and understand it because my mind is like this compared to the whole creation of the universe compared to that kind of mindset and mathematics and science and energy and stuff is like, whoa, okay. So I have to use sometimes a picture to say, okay, God, what do you say? What should I do? Why is this happening? Break it down A, B, C, D, red, blue, yellow, green. That's what I use it for, okay? To help me understand. Okay. So what else? What else? So yes, I'm gonna start with the lows of being an empath, and then move towards the highs of being an empath in case anyone wanted to know. So this is different for everyone. This doesn't may not apply to some, but this applies to my personal truth. Okay. So one of the low sides of me being an empath is, of course, mood swings, right? Whether me personally, I can go from happy, sad, angry, irritable, irritated, excited, so much energy to not having no energy. That is because for me, and I know for some people in the psychiatric ward, the psychiatrist, or those kind of mental health terms, they would call that swings, or they'll call that being bipolar or schizophrenic or whatever, right? Which in the past I have a history with mental health. That was my beginning journey of discovering that I was an empath. I was a sensitive being. I was an angel or just a child. I'm learning that I'm gifted. not so much as is something wrong with me. I'm just a gifted empath individual. I feel vibrations, I feel energy, and it affects me on a higher level. I'm just not numb, walking around like a robot. I actually am here and present, right? And with a connection with God. So it took me a while to understand that my moods and my swings and so forth like that is just the energy levels that I'm feeling around me, or the energy that I'm picking up from a friend or family member that I'm close to that's going through it and I don't know it, right? Or the energy that something, I'm always like paranoid, something's bad about to happen, or I'm on edge, something doesn't feel right, right? Well, that's the energy of me picking up. Maybe something's about to go down at the White House, like people about to storm the Capitol. Like at that time, my anxiety was on 100, and I didn't know why. And boom, that happens, right? Or I can feel real like grief, like I just lost somebody, or a family member, a friend just passed or died. I'm like, why am I boohooing? Why am I crying? Why am I feeling this? And coming to find out, a friend lost a family member. It had nothing to do with me. I was just picking up on that energy, right? So I've learned over time that everything I'm feeling is not necessarily me personally. It's just I'm picking up on the vibrations and the energy of other people or other things or the actual planet itself, or if I allow myself, the whole universe. Okay. So one thing I can say with me is it takes practice to learn to control the emotions, the swings, the feelings that you feel, because it can get very overwhelming. And then you find yourself thinking that you're going crazy. And others would think that you're going crazy too, because you don't know what this could be, what these feelings are. Why am I crying? Why am I happy? Why am I sad? Why am I grieving and nobody's died? Or why do I feel like something's going on? Or like, you're just all over the place. And it's really the energies that are around you, and you're just feeling it and it's hitting you. Sometimes it can just feel like your chest is just heavy and you can't breathe, and that causes panic attacks or anxiety and stuff like that, because everything is hitting you all at once and you haven't learned to establish a boundary with energies and spirits and so forth and things that are happening, and to shut away. Like, I'm off the clock. I'm not in the office right now. Okay. So that's one thing. I know this video is going to be ridiculously long, but it's okay. I will break it up. Um Two, oh yeah, one thing is that can you can experience a lot of sleep or no sleep. Depending on what you feeling, what the vibrations is. I know for me, there's days where I can't sleep, or I'll wake up in the middle of the night. I might get 4 hours of sleep. I might get 8 hours of sleep. I might sleep all damn day. Like, but it depends on my energy, depends on how much I did the day before, depends on how long was I connected to God speaking, how long was my energy present. Because when you're connected to God and downloading and you're learning, even just if you're not doing anything even physically, because your spirit and your mind is learning and downloading from God, and you're just absorbing all this information or having all these experiences, that can be draining on the body, right? So you were like, well, I haven't done anything. Why do I feel so tired? Or, why am I sleeping so much? Well, because have you been connecting to God? Have you been praying? Have you been learning and absorbing more information? Have you been studying history? Are you studying the environment around you? It can be a number of things. So yeah, that can cause your sleep to be a little off. And then also, um, even with dreams, this might be in another number, but even with dreams, sometimes sleep cannot feel like sleep. right? It is like when you're sleeping, sometimes your dreams can be like a reality, like you're just jumping from one life to the other life, one dimension to another dimension. And in those dreams or in that state of sleep, you're downloading there, right? You're having experiences there. You're getting signs and symbols even when you're trying to rest. So your physical body is resting, but your spirit is not resting, right? So, because your spirit is always alive, it's always present, right? That is your spirit, your energy does not go anywhere. It does not die. Even if this body, this flesh dies, your spirit is on forever, forever, infinity. Just so, yeah, little asterisk there. Your spirit never dies. Your body and flesh dies until your spirit goes to another medium. But that's a whole nother topic. Okay. We'll talk about it another day. Um, okay, so yeah, so you could be picking up energy of others or planets in the universe. So yeah, for those of you all who don't believe in astrology, that's fine. That's fine. You don't believe in the planets and all of that, and they don't have impact on us. That's your personal belief, and that's cool. But I'm just sharing what I believe. And what I believe, as above, so below. Okay. And I'm saying that because I have experienced it personally. And this is why I took the time to start to begin to study astrology and study the planets and energy in the universe, is because I was wondering, why am I feeling this way at certain times? Why is my energy feeling low at this time? Why am I crying? Why am I more emotional? Why am I more energetic during certain times? And so I started to learn about planets. I started to learn about energy and how when planets come, certain planets or energies come closer to our Earth, the energy shifts. Okay. It could go for good or bad, depending on what's popping out, depending on people's state of their minds or their spirits. So, for example, the moon, right? Full moon. When a full moon is present or it comes close to Earth, or is the energy changes. More accidents happen, more killings happen. Um, Bad things tend to go on, right? Or people are more passionate, they're more emotional, they're more romantic. It's the feelings of people or energies, just it could go either way depending on where you are, right? Um, but not just necessarily people, the actual ocean, right? The actual animals, the planet affects the impact of the moon changes the actual ocean, the tides, the lows, and how animals go to a certain place or react during the full moon, right? They become more active or less active or whatever. So for those who say, planets, I don't believe in all that, that's fine. But I know for me, I know when things are changing up there, and I have to go figure out, okay, what is going on, what is happening up there, because I'm feeling like this, right? Like during some full moons, like a Cancer full moon, I am boohooing crying for no damn reason. Like, why am I so emotional? Oh my God, why am I crying? Why I don't know? No. And I'm looking, I'm like, uh, it's a full moon in Cancer. Everybody know Cancers are emotional. It's just an emotional time period. So, or Mars is in Aries. Why am I feeling so fiery and energetic and like I can just go run for miles? Mars is in Aries, right? That fire energy. So yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But when you start to understand that as an empath, you start to learn and research things like this. You realize and understand that everything's connected. Nothing is just operating by itself, right? The plants is connected to the air. The air is connected to the plants. So water is connected to the earth and the soil. Um, fire is connected to the air. Like everything is like a puzzle. And when one thing is off balance, it throws everything else off balance, right? That, and we're realizing that with our planet today, when the air quality is off, guess what that affects? The ocean. It affects the fish in the water. It affects the trees, right? It affects forest fires. It affects volcanoes and hurricanes and earthquakes. Everything is connected. So if everything on the earth is connected and working together in synchronicity, then why wouldn't the rest of the universe that God built to be connected as well? But don't take my word for it. Okay, so the next thing, I talked about the nightmares, the bad dreams. Did I? Yeah, you have dreams, you have nightmares, so but those will become a little bit more frequent depending on certain circumstances or situation that occur in your life or around you. um my advice to those who are experiencing nightmares or bad dreams, to journal all of your dreams. Journal, write it down, good or bad. Like I had a dream this morning and I didn't write it yet, but I plan to. I'm just gonna write even with just one sentence to summarize it up. That way you can keep track of it and it helps you process it. But also pray. Big time pray, especially if it's some bad energy. Pray whoever the dream is in, whoever's in the dream, or whoever is affecting, or if you don't even know what to pray, just pray a prayer of protection. Okay. Um, let's see. The next thing, I would say paranoia, operating or having a fear. I think I picked up on that already. Or sightseeing accidents, bad things occurring or happening, or the gift of sight. Okay, so yeah, the gift of sight. So as you become more aware or in tune, before sometimes this even happens before you realize that you're an empath, um, that you begin to see things playing out. Sometimes they have already happened, sometimes they are occurring, or sometimes they are about to happen or could happen, right? For instance, you can feel uh like if you're driving in a car, right? You're driving in a car and you see somebody speeding, flying past you, and you're like, oh my God, why are they going so fast? They're gonna cause an accident. I could just see an accident happening, right? And the next thing you know, an accident happens, right? So, but in your mind, before that accident, while they speeding up, you start to slow down automatically because your intuition is telling you, speaking to you, there is red flags up ahead. I just seen this coming and I need to pull back and slow it down because I can just see this playing out. That's the same thing as sightseeing, that you can see things happening before it happens, right? And a lot of people have this gift. Everybody has this gift of intuition. It just depends if you're going to use it or ignore it or realize it's even there, right? So, and a lot of people have, I know with me personally, I am working on strengthening that gift, trusting my intuition, trusting my instinct, trusting that gut feeling, trusting that little whisper in your ear, that says, I don't know if I should do this, or this doesn't feel safe, or I don't know if I should go. Trusting yourself a little bit, a lot more. I want to say a little bit, a lot more. Um, so sometimes it can be like, oh, you're just paranoid, or oh, you're just this, oh, you're just that. Like, no, boo boo. I'm seeing my brain, my spirit, my energy. God is telling me I should not go here, or I need to stay home today, or you need to stay home today. I don't feel da da da, or I don't feel that person is good for you. Little things like that, or even I think you should apply for that job. I got a feeling you're going to get it. So it doesn't always have to be bad. It can also be good. Like, oh, I think you should go on that date. I think they'll be a really good match for you. I just got a good vibe from them. You know, trusting your feeling, your intuition, instead of just acting on impulse. You're trusting and you're connecting with the source, with the divine, with God. Does the situation serve me or doesn't it? Okay. So trusting. Um, let's see. Oh, the next one, being irritated with humanity. But you have a love for humanity. I would say that's more Aquarius, but that's across the board for everybody. You can, and when I reason was I say irritated with humanity is because as you begin to awaken, as you begin to evolve, you start to see the flaws of human nature. You start to see where we're going wrong a lot more, the things we've done wrong in the past, the things that we're doing wrong currently, and where that is going to get us in the future, right? And so things, situations that you would just normally see, um, for instance, animal cruelty, right? Um, if you see like a dog being beaten or tortured or starved, right? Or somebody being locked up for a pit bull fight, and you're like, oh, that's just another day in the news, somebody beating their dog or somebody, whatever, right? When you become an empath, that thing affects you to the core of your being. When you see mistreatment of animals or of trees being knocked down or cut down, or if you see plastic in the ocean, if you see plastic bags or on the ground or gum on the ground, you just see just whales being killed and hung up, and those type of things you start to see, like oil spills in the ocean and the fish washing up, um will affect you on a whole different level than what it normally would be in the past, where it's just news, right? Because of the fact that you are an empath, you realize that you're connected to everything. You're connected to the trees, you're connected to the ocean, you're connected to the water, you're connected to the animals, you're connected to the source God who created all of these things. And so when you see it being disrespected, when you see it being taken for granted and mistreated, it affects your whole being to where it just pisses you the hell off. And you say, I really do hate humans. It pisses me the fuck off when they do this. Like you're like, you just get so angry because these things can be avoided, but because of greed or lack of education or just stubbornness, pure stubbornness, people don't want to change the way they do things. Okay. But you can have a love for humanity because when you see somebody in need who's hungry or who doesn't have, or if you just somebody needs your help or whatever the case is, or you see people who are ill or sick or shut in, that affects your core to where your heart just goes out to them and you send a prayer even if you can't do or give anything, right? You just when you see somebody on the street or something, you automatically start praying for them, like, God, please get them off the street, or please send help, or bless them so that they can come out of this situation or something like that. Instead of just saying, oh, just another bum on the street. Your outlook totally changes when it comes to people. But you realize people have good and bad, light and dark, and that's what anything. You realize it's all energy. Okay. I'm gonna try to keep going. And then I'm gonna do a second video on the highs of being an empath, but we're almost done with the lows. Almost done with the lows. Sometimes there is confusion as to what is your calling in life, feeling inadequate in the world that is already laid out, feeling like an outcast and no one understands you. Like, that's me. I heard somebody say, that's me right there. So yes, that can, when you're empath, sometimes you are like a sore thumb in a room. I'm telling you, like, you stick out like a sore thumb. You are, everything around you feels that way, and you feel like, I'm right here. Like, you're by yourself in a crowded room. um you don't really fit in. You know, you try to blend in, you try to, but eventually, when you're called, when God calls you to be more and to know yourself, you can no longer it to how can I say, you can no longer stay stagnant in the place that you're in. I know when I was first started, when I started to be called, I fought like hell. I fought like hell. I said, no, I want to stay in corporate America. I'm going to fight and stay. I even changed positions, changed jobs. It was like, no. God was like, I have so much more for you. And I'm going to take you on this journey, and you're going to get up from behind this cubicle. Okay. You are more than this. And we about to go for a ride. And boy, did God take me on a ride. Okay. But I couldn't go back. I felt so inadequate. I couldn't go back. I couldn't go back today if I wanted to. Why? Because of the place where God is taking me, because of the things that I know, because of the gifts that I have. I'm more than just picking up a phone and how can I help you today? No, I'm more than canning an order and sending off a phone. You know, like, God is like, no, baby, I'm about to show you the sun, moon, the stars, the universe, the cosmos, the trees, the nature. I'm about to show you how I built this whole thing. Okay. I'm about to show you how it all worked, baby. And I'm going to show you how to thrive and survive in it. Okay. In this chaotic world that you're in, because right now you're in a war zone. So it's like a war zone in the middle of heaven. So I'm going to understand. I'm going to show you all of that. And I'm sitting there like, what? What we doing? What we going? So yeah, you will feel, and the thing is that even with your social circle, your friends, they'll know you weird as hell. As an Aquarius person, I'm telling you, you will be wanting to talk about things. They're not there yet. You know, they can try to sit there and smile and try to understand, but if they not woke, or I hate using the word woke, if they are not in tune, or have begun to ask questions for themselves, or wanting to know that it's more than life than this, it's like talking to a wall. It's like talking a whole nother language they couldn't possibly understand. And so you're going to have times where you won't have anyone to really talk to until you find your tribe or your circle. You just and it's a lonely feeling, you know. It can be very lonely being an empath. I'll tell you that, because especially when you're a beginner empath. Now, eventually, you'll begin to see and find your circle, and you find your friends. Even me, I'm still searching for my tribe, right? So it's just a lonely road until you find your group. And we're in the age of Aquarius. We're moving towards the age of Aquarius, where people begin to more interact more together instead of being stuck on their phone, right? We're becoming more collaborative. We're developing more connections and friendships, and not just in this one group. We're going to be more larger groups, and understanding and working together to build something for the collective. So yeah, okay. Let's see what's next. Not understanding you have boundaries. People take advantage of your light and kind heart. People can be vultures or shadow vampires, such as, and suck your energy dry. So yeah. Before I became awakened, I would say before I became an empath, I would, or realize I was an empath, could not say no to people. I had a hard time saying no. It was always yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay, okay. I'm available. Yeah, I can do this. Yeah, I can do that. And I just had no boundaries. I had no boundaries with family. I had no boundaries with friends. I had no boundaries with work. And I had no boundaries with my personal relationships. Everybody sucked me dry. And I became so drained because nothing was being poured back into me. I was constantly pouring, giving, and neglecting myself. I did not know anything about self love, self preservation, self protection, cutting off, just setting boundaries, saying no, I can't, or no, I don't want to, or not answering the phone when I don't feel like being bothered. Like, I was always available, right? And that was just because of my soft, kind hearted spirit. And a lot of empaths have soft hearts. They are delicate as a feather. A lot of us just soft and gentle and genuine. And people who are not of love and light, who are the opposite end spectrum of being an angel or empath or whatever, I call them the dark people in their shadow, really bad side that haven't came to. They will suck you dry if you allow them to. They will take, and without any regards to, are you okay? Did you eat? Like, do you need anything? How are you feeling? They will pour all of their stuff on you and dump all their stuff on you and vomit all this stuff. And you sitting there with all this garbage and crap. Like, what am I supposed to do with all of this? And I've learned to establish boundaries. I had to save my life, be honestly, because I literally did not have a desire to live. I didn't have a purpose to live. Um, I felt like my purpose was to deal with everybody else's shit. And I was like, I don't want to be here for that. I don't want to. If that's all I'm here to do is to clean up other people's shit and rescue them with a red cape on my back while I'm bleeding out the side and I'm missing a leg back there and I'm just looking like shit, I don't want to be here for that. I don't want to do that. And so I had to learn to say no. I had to learn to set boundaries. Because you will lose a lot. Now, God will replace what you lost more than okay. He will just constantly give it. You will find favor. I'm going to talk about that later. But God will replace it. But in the meantime, you will lose a lot of time, a lot of restless nights, a lot of sleep, money, resources, energy, tears. They will just take whatever. So you got to be careful with that because people see your light. I don't like, sometimes I have to protect myself when I'm even in an Uber car, because when I step in the car, they see this light being step in the car, like, oh my gosh, she's so soft and she's got so much light. She seems like a really nice person. Let me tell him my childhood trauma. Like, let me tell her about my divorce or my kids and my baby mama drama, and let me just tell her my struggles. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Like, but when your light and your energy is so bright and it's so energetic, people will gravitate to you and unload all their stuff on you. And they're not supposed to do that. And you're not supposed to allow them to do that, right? Unless you on the clock getting paid. Okay. So like you're a therapist, psychiatrist, or whatever, doctor, counselor. But you got to be careful with people unloading all that stuff. And guess what happens when they unload? It got to go somewhere. That energy got to go somewhere. And guess where it's going? Okay. So if you don't learn to push that back on them, this is your stuff, this is your problems, here's some advice, okay, blah blah blah, or put on the earbuds, say, okay, nice to know. And that's what I do. My earbuds are my best friend. No, when I don't feel like being counselor Tiffany for the day or just being the ear to listen, guess what? My earbuds are in. When I want to just zone, I know you see my light. I can't turn this light bulb off, but I'm in the zone. I'm focused. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered. Okay, so let's see the last two for the lows, and I'm gonna end this video and then I'm gonna make another one on the highs. Last two, it's hard for family and friends to understand you anymore, or what I can't even read my damn own handwriting. Or what direction you are headed because you don't know yourself, or they don't know you anymore, pretty much. So yeah, family and friends, they be like, what is wrong with her? or him? You know, like, I don't understand them. 1 minute they're good, 1 minute they're jolly, 1 minute they're themselves and I can joke and they, you know, they cool. And the next minute they're cold as ice. Aquarius. Oh, you know, but this can be for any sign. Like, they're distant, they're detached, or they're crying, or they're moody, or they're angry, or whatever, you know. And it is, how can I say, it's challenging for family and friends dealing with the empath. And I'm not going to say it's an easy relationship, because I know I'm not easy to deal with at all. But what I have learned, because I know I can be one way today and another tomorrow, or one way 1 hour and another hour, and I'm still learning to balance my energies and what I'm feeling and what triggers me and all of that. I just protect myself. I literally just disappear. My friends know, like, till gone. Till gone. Now I have learned to say, or put up a post and say, don't call me, just text me, or I'm going within, I'm in my healing period, whatever healing time. And sometimes they get it and sometimes they don't. Okay. But I did my part by saying, I need some time alone. If I pick up that phone, it's no telling what's gonna come through that phone. I'm just letting you know. I'm not in the mood for it. I'm not here for it today. I'm irritable. I'm angry. I'm sad. I don't know, and I don't want to fucking talk about it. I don't want to talk about it sometimes. You know, like I say that from a therapist if I want to talk to them about it. But or sometimes there's nothing to say. I'm just not in the headspace or have the energy to connect with another energy right now. I need to stabilize and just get myself together and spend some me time with me and God, right? So there are a couple of people in my life who have caught it, who have felt the brunt of my coldness and my directness, but it came from a place of love. And it's like, this is what it is. This is my boundary. And if you cross the boundary and you decide to still call me when I say don't call me, just text me, or unless it's an emergency, then you're gonna feel the ice. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel the sword. I'm gonna be like, okay, I don't want to talk about that. I'm working on it. No, okay. You're just gonna get that out of me because I'm trying to protect myself from saying, didn't I say don't fucking call me? Didn't I say wait on me to call you? Can we do that? That way you can get the same till every time. You don't have to get the dark side and shadow side of tilt, because everybody has a light and dark side to them. Me, I'm learning how, when I get to my dark side, go within, go with God. That way your feelings ain't hurt. Period. Nobody, we can still keep our connections, our relationships, everything. But some folks just want to see. They just want to say, well, she ain't mean that for me. No, I meant that for everybody. Don't call me. I'll call you or I'll text you and check in. Okay. And the last one, for the lows of being an empath, you have to lock yourself in during your sensitive moment, and this can cause issues with family and friends who do not understand to take it personal. Exactly. So yes, family and friends will take it personal, can take it personal, but people are responsible for their own feelings. That's what I got to say about that. They're responsible. They know if you let them know, like, look, it's times when I want to be bothered. It's times when I don't want to be bothered. It's times when I'm praying and I'm in a sensitive space and I'm downloading from God. I can't have you coming past this. It's just like in the Bible days, right? Moses going to the mountaintop away from the people to hear from God. Now, if you decide to truck your tail up that mountain, don't get mad when you get thrown back down because you ain't supposed to be up there. Period. So yeah, you can say things in a respectable way, but as long as you let them know, like, look, I'm taking some time out for me, I would appreciate it if you, gave me some space and some time. This is why I'm having to do this. It's not you. I'm working on me, but you can ruffle my feathers and distract me, and then I can become irritated, and you will take it personally, and I don't want that. So to save us the drama, give me some time. I need some time alone. Everybody needs time alone. Okay. But some friends and family don't understand it, and it's not up to you to make them understand it. You can try, but some people refuse to understand, period, because they're not there yet. Right. Okay. So I'm going to end this video. I know it's a long video, but part 2 is going to be talking about the highs of being an empath, the highs, the light side, the positive attributes of being an empath. All right. See you next time. I'll be back.